This is one of the
Good.
reasons why.
Fix the rest of that.
This is one of the reasons why I never use stuff like Roll20 is because the technology is always great until it isn't.
Yeah. I've done this for so many years that like I can figure out almost any issue just by looking at it and being like, yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds like we're
good to go?
good. You might want to turn Benny down a little bit in your Discord. Okay. Not too much though. Alright. Where's my thingamabob? Here we go. All of our issues are fine. Woo! Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. Today, our storyteller is Benny, or Autist DM on TikTok. And today we're going to be continuing the tales of Oceans
good.
Ablaze. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. As I said a couple of times so far, and a few other streams, we're going to be probably taking a very small break after I go up to Hawaii for most of the channel. Depending on how long this series lasts, that will probably be included in there, or we'll just be continuing like normal. Depends on how I settle in with my family, so we'll let you all know. But for the most part, we should be continuing Jump Chain and Rogue streams on Monday and Thursday, respectively, just as they are. Jump Chain, we might be taking a small break from as I get situated as well. But we'll let all you guys know if you guys go over to our Discord, which will be inside the chat below. You guys will get the most up-to-date information as we get it, as well as our events. All right, Benny, if you'd like to take the floor.
Thank you, and as always, thank you very much for having me. So, as I recall, in the last session, the party had effectively made a deal where their efforts to stop the impending war are not going exactly as planned, but where one opportunity fails, sometimes another opportunity presents itself. Specifically, the people who have overthrown the city of Spaden, one of the cities that was involved in the impending war, have enlisted the party's help to attempt to overthrow the other city. So if both cities have been caught in the grips of a coup and are now ruled by the same people, no conflict. So in the it's a way of enforcing a kind of peace. Anyway, you all are on your route back with your very favorite NPC that I've ever introduced to you, the Princess Liliana.
Why did it go quiet?
Who I don't think the party's ever actually tried to kill, although I do believe you did try to dump her in the water last time.
I feel like that counts as killing.
Yeah, potentially.
Only if it was a witch
She
trap.
survived, it's fine.
Yes.
I love you.
Anyway, so we'll go around and we'll introduce all of the characters and introduce, please, your character's name, race, your two classes, because this is a Gestalt campaign, so you have two. And question of the week is, what is your character's plan for when this adventure is over? They have to have some idea at this point that the quest they're on is reaching its end point, or at least hopefully so. So what do they want to do next in life? And we'll start with the Princess Marina.
So, Princess Marina is a Princess Trident, and she is a Bard of Lore and Circle the Shepherd Druid. What she plans on doing after this lovely endeavor that has changed her perspective on things, good or bad, she's going to write about it. She's going to make it into a story of sorts, just like the previous adventure stories she's read about before. And kind of unsure if she'll adventure again, but we'll see how things go.
Fair enough. All right, so she wants to sit down and write her memoirs. And next up, Signa. Same question.
So Signa is a Dhampir rogue fighter, and she's probably going to try and find a way to not be quite so dead after this, generally speaking. and probably use all of the wisdom she's learned to start her own cult instead of worshipping someone else's cult. Got to move up in the world.
So basically, Cigna's goal is to, instead of being the warlock, become the patron.
Yeah, something like that. Though she doesn't even need to be magical. She just wants to not have to work for any amount of money.
All right. I mean, that's definitely some girl boss energy, so that's good. Ace.
Okay. Well, Ace is assuming that my internet doesn't cut me again. Just kicked me out of my my game. Ace is a hexblade warlock, and a swashbuckler rogue human. What he plans on doing after this, I believe he was given an offer by the captain to essentially be a established pirate, if I remember correctly. And so he's probably he plans on taking up that offer, making his name a little bit more broad and well known, establishing who he is for the most part, settling his debt to Davy Jones, and just becoming a well-known, well-revered pirate whose name sails on.
Fair enough. And that brings us to Locke.
Locke is a goblin mad bomber, alchemist, and artificer artillerist. Locke has a long game that he's planning on playing. He's going to initially take up the offer to work for the new king and queen, and over the course of about a decade, all of the advancements that he's going to introduce are always going to be a step behind what he's intending on having. Long story short, his intention is to
I can still hear you, Locke.
I can hear you.
Hold on.
Oh, the stream's audio.
No, okay. Now
Sorry,
it should be
guys.
fixed.
he's going to use the portal device that he now has, and he's going to investigate that as much as he can so that he can make it work for a ship, so he can be constantly popping in and out of places without being caught, and just become a general menace and terror of the seas.
All right, fair enough. I guess chaotic evil goblins need to have dreams too.
Hey, that's it. That shrine to that chaotic god, that's going to be a crater.
Don't tell her, otherwise her plan is going to be send her cult after you.
I mean, you'll figure it out after it happens.
In theory,
That's fair.
if all of the other cult headquarters are deleted, then that's more potential cultists for the cult that Cigna wants to start. So, there could be some long-term cooperation possible in this scenario.
Yeah, but that's also a lot of gods very angry at Cigna for allowing this to happen.
Fair enough. All right, so where we left off, you guys had set out you know you're probably going to have to put in for provisions at some point because it is a bit of a long journey to get to Trinoa, the city where the princess is from. Now, it's getting to be nightfall, so it's just starting to get dark. Where on the boat do you think each of you would be at around that time?
That's a very suspicious question.
I think Ace would be his usual position at the helm.
Okay.
I'm in the lab trying to retrofit the portal device to look like a short sword, while also studying every square inch inside and out that I can to have my own notes so I can build my own.
For that, go ahead and make an intelligence check with advantage.
All right. Seeing as I'm using tools, can I use my tool expertise?
Sure, I'll go with it.
Okay. $25.
All right. So what you're able to determine is that the device has a mapping coordinate system built into it in a kind of machine language code, not as in a computer system, of course, but as in more like a dot matrix, and it can register more than one location. You're not quite able to know how the device connects to the physical world to make the connections actually happen, but you are able to determine that it can be powered by pretty much anything that generates energy. This one is powered by magical crystals of some sort, which is why it's so compact. But you could power one with something like a windmill or a water wheel. It would just be a lot more cumbersome. The design is actually more straightforward than you would have expected, especially with your sort of ghost friend Oleara helping you. All right, and Signo, where would you be at this point?
My character is going to be near the crow's nest, but instead of actually in the crow's nest, because she can just stand on any surface completely normally, she's just standing on the pole that holds up to the crow's nest as though it's completely normal.
Okay, so she's standing at a 90-degree angle to gravity and unbothered by this fact.
Yep.
Okay, and Marina.
Marina would just be just at the base of the ship. Like occasionally she might walk down to check on Locke, but other than that she stays up top.
So two things are going to happen. One of them is the Princess Liliana is going to attempt to get the attention of the three of you who are topside. She has no way of forcing you to pay attention to her, but she's clearly wanting to talk. How do you three react?
Sorry, by nature of being dead, I'm deaf. I can't hear you.
Saying this directly in response to her asking you to talk?
Yep.
Okay. Like it?
Yeesh.
Marina would just say, it's like, I didn't hear a please. You seem just fine, though.
Please, can we talk for a few minutes?
What is it you need?
Ace, how are you reacting to this situation?
He'd probably be looking over the crew and then probably just kind of like moving down towards them and just kind of nodding. He's like, "Is this something to do with the mission?"
Really, but the mission will go more smoothly if we're at least on civil terms with each other. And to that end, I wanted to apologize. this is a really chaotic time, and I clearly didn't take the measure of you very well, so I should have trusted your crew more than I did, and I definitely shouldn't have deceived you. I understand if you don't forgive or trust me, but I did want to apologize, and hopefully we can be at least on civil terms for the rest of this mission.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Media just like, oh
That
god,
was,
she's lying.
That's 16.
16. On a 16, she's genuine, at least in the sense that she genuinely wants to get along with you. Just based on your experience and your prejudice isn't the right word. Based on your experience with this person, you're not immediately trusting that she's now your best friend or would do anything for you or anything.
Okay. We're on tolerable terms for now, just for this mission, and then we'll see about afterwards. I mean, our two families have to talk eventually, I'm sure.
I can ask no more of you at this time. Hopefully, I earn more of you with time.
I have no particular issue with you at the moment. Most of my issues were fixed by the captain.
Gorm is a good one. We're all lucky to know him. And Signa, while this is going on, I assume at some point you would happen to look back from the crow's nest, and you're going to notice another much larger ship coming up pretty quickly behind you.
Guys, I think we're being followed by that.
Oh. I'm on
Again?
lookout.
And so will Marina. That ship better not be one of yours.
I doubt it would be. If it was, it'd be messing up her entire plan.
Yeah, no, there's no reason for one of my ships to attack when I'm on board your ship. She's going to move to the rail and be kind of looking over. So what do the three of you who are topside and seeing this want to do?
I'd be trying to see whether or not they seem like they're trying to get closer to us in order to do combat. It's probably what Ace would be concerned about at the moment.
All right.
Is that a perception check?
Yeah, that's going to be a perception check.
Okay.
Can
So,
I was gonna say Marina assist.
Yep, you can either give him advantage or both roll perception checks, whatever you want to do.
what's your perception, Marina?
Plus 10.
Yeah, you go ahead and do one.
Yeah, her
roll was a
passive is 20.
15.
Ow!
So my one was a 15. Her one was a natural 1 plus 10.
Okay. So here's what happens. Marina, when you look out and see this ship behind you, you're actually going to recognize this boat. If you saw this ship right at the beginning of the campaign, it's a ship from the time of the collapse before any of you all were born, but the time of the legends that you studied. And because your passive is so high, you just kind of know this. And you know that the story of this ship is that it cruises the seas, attacking ships, not to slay the crews, but to force them into undead servitude. And you're going to see this, you're going to know all of this. And then with your natural one, you're going to realize you're just being silly. It's not that. It couldn't be that. That's not real. It's just a story. Ace, with your 15, you're going to recognize the way the ship is moving is they're definitely trying to close the distance. and they're doing so in a particularly direct and aggressive manner.
I'll throw my hat into the perception ring.
Go ahead.
So that's going to be a natural 20 plus 3.
So you not only recognize the ship, but you are able to see that they are arming a catapult. And because of its natural 20, you're going to recognize that what that catapult is being armed with is goblin fire.
Oh boy.
Could someone get lock up here? Stat.
Kind of slam my hand against the door leading to his room and shout, "Oi! We got company!"
Oh, who the fuck did you invite to dinner this time? All right, give me a minute. All right, I'm coming out.
There's goblin fire up here.
Goblin fire, my friend. You got a couple seconds. Get your ass moving.
Oh, goblin fire. Fuck. All right. And you hear a general like just banging around in there, and he comes flying out with his bag over his shoulder, and Lode's still in bird form next to him.
Okay.
What's going on? Yeah, I was in the middle of something in there. What's going on?
Being followed by a ship that is loading a catapult with goblin fire.
How far away is the ship?
It's still a pretty good way out. It's still at least 100 yards out.
Nothing that we can do right now.
As you all are talking, that catapult fires, and it's going to miss your boat. It lands a little bit off to your starboard side, which, for those of you who don't know nautical terms, would be to the right side. The crew on the other ship begins immediately reloading. And Locke, you're able to, with your knowledge of this sort of thing, you're able to immediately determine that that is in fact goblin fire, not necessarily of the highest quality of it.
All right.
Concerning.
So they definitely have range on us. Are we already at full sail?
We should be going as fast as we can, yeah.
All right.
Do you recognize the flags that the ship is bearing?
I can try to get us to go faster with a gust of wind.
Do that 100%. If we can get out of range as best we can.
In answer to Cygna's question, you don't recognize a flag, but you do recognize the ship as being a legendary and infamous ship that it hunts sailors to force into undead servitude.
Well, I'm safe. You guys are fucked though.
What do you mean? Anyway, watch out. I don't want to throw anyone overboard except maybe the other princess.
Are you saying that out loud in front of the princess?
She gets quieter on that last part.
So mean.
The other princess looks at you with a raised eyebrow and says, "So perhaps I should get out of the way and get below deck." And she's pretty much saying this to Ace.
Yes.
It's a smart plan,
Oh.
yeah.
All right, she does that.
And I will move my arms forward in front of me and like brush them to the side as like a gust of wind appears and goes toward the sails.
Okay. As the sails billow and the ship begins to pick up a little bit more speed, another catapult shot fires. This one lands significantly to the port side, which would be the left side of your ship. And I don't know. I think Ace would probably recognize what's going on before anybody else would. I think Ace is the most seasoned sailor among you.
Hmm.
I'm going to have to bring some nautical terms into this, so bear with me. There's something called plunging fire. Basically, just about any kind of ship ever built is more vulnerable if something hits it from directly above than from the sides.
Hmm.
And it's hard to land shots on anything that way. So the way you do it is you do what's called bracket the ship, which is you fire to one side, you fire to the other, and then you keep closing in. And it's just a lot easier to end up consistently landing hits that way than it is to keep trying to land that one lucky shot. So Ace, you recognize that that's what they're doing. They're basically closing in to drop a barrel of goblin fire right onto the middle of your deck.
That's irritating.
All right.
All right. So it'll probably be probably grab hold of the helm and probably try to do a hard turn to the left. Try to mess with their aim a little bit.
Okay. Everybody else, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
So that's going to be a natural 1.
All right, so you get shook loose.
That would be 17.
Okay, so Signa, you get shook loose from where you're standing, and once your feet are no longer touching the mast, gravity suddenly remembers you, and you rush up for an unhappy meeting with the deck, and it's not fun.
Ow.
Marina, you're able to keep your footing. Locke, what did you roll?
6.
All right, so yeah, you get pitched on your side. You're not hurt by this, other than your pride. Now,
They're trying.
go ahead.
Pretty much say to them, they're trying to pinpoint us.
Should I fog us up? Or send out a fog cloud?
I'm not sure if your fog cloud would be large enough.
I mean, this is true. It's only 20 feet.
Yeah, our ship's a bit bigger than that. Good idea, though.
As this is going on, a tall figure is going to step heavily onto the front of your ship, which is odd
what?
because there's nothing actually in front of you for this person to have stepped
What?
from. What Marina, Locke, and Signa are going to see is just a tall, reasonably but not ostentatiously well-dressed sailor, and who he has a weapon on him. He has a sword on his hip, but he's not standing in any particularly aggressive fashion. He hasn't drawn his weapon, and he's not in a position where he looks like he's going to do magic. Ace, you're going to recognize this as none other than your patron, Davy Jones. And to you, he is going to say, quick word, please.
Who is that?
Ace gonna like raise his eyebrow, look around, go, sure. Princess, you know how to steer a boat?
Sure.
Cool. Take the helm, twist and turn. And he's just gonna start walking
Locke?
towards the patron.
It'll turn the direction that you spin the wheel. It doesn't move. It doesn't turn very fast. Just remember that, okay?
Okay.
Steady and easy. Turn nice and easy. You do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can't make that harder to hit us. And I'm gonna set up near the back of the ship, towards where they are, towards where the other ship is, and the prosthetic, the third arm's gonna stick out, and I'm gonna load it with an explosive, with just a regular bomb, and let's see, what's the range on this thing? Like 120 or something?
What is it you're firing?
The masterwork arm.
Oh, I would have the stats of a heavy crossbow.
Did not look that up. Hang on.
I can pretty much guarantee that you're not within range to fire other than with disadvantage.
So what my intent here is, when they fire off another one of those shots from the catapult, my intent is to hit that in the air when it's in my range.
Okay. All right, so you're going to be shooting at a moving target. And this isn't something you would have necessarily had a lot of chance to practice for. So I am going to say you take that shot with disadvantage. But that being said, go ahead and roll it up.
Okay. All right. So that's a disadvantage, you said? Okay.
Correct.
Go. That is 14 to hit.
All right. So 14 hits, and there is just a spectacular explosion of fire above and slightly to starboard of your ship.
So the range turned out to be, the minimum was 100, the maximum was 400 feet.
Okay. Well,
So I guess technically they're within range for me to hit them if they're 100 yards out.
100 yards out would be, that would be 300 feet. So yeah, they're just coming in. Yeah, they're coming into range for you. All right, so you managed to foul the one shot, and now you'll be in a position to return fire, which we will come back to in just a minute.
You got it.
All right, so Ace, you're standing there talking to Davy Jones, and I like to think that you all are positioned in such a way so that the goblin fire barrel that was catapulted at you explodes directly behind you. So he's silhouetted with that and is just completely calm and unfazed. And he's going to say, so you all seem to find yourself in a bit of a predicament, but there is an opportunity for you here if you're interested.
Oh, and what would that be?
Well, I know our last meeting wasn't entirely pleasant, what with me having threatened to murder your entire crew and all, but as it happens, the ship that's following you has robbed me of a lot of the sailors who should have been trusted to my care. Now, the details are tiresome, but basically, the enchantments that are on that ship stop me from interfering with it directly. However, if you take them on, I will be very pleased with you, Ace, and you'll have done a great service to your maritime community. One might even say a legendary service. I can't, as I say, I can't interfere directly, but I can tell you what I know of that ship, and that might help you even the odds, as it were. The ship has a large crew of sentient but not particularly intelligent or motivated undead. Whoever takes the helm of that ship is the captain, meaning if you can fight your way to the helm and take it, you'll be able to call their crew off. And you'll be able to give them instructions to do something like run the thing into a reef. So you can get your
That'd be
party
useful,
out of
make it so they stop charging us.
Yes. And so you can get your friends out of this circumstance. And as I say, I would be very well disposed to you after the fact, all of you.
Fair enough. I'll
Marina
look
and
at.
Sigmund, you're probably overhearing this conversation, but you don't know exactly who it is Locke is talking to.
So hearing it, I mean, Signa's not exactly concerned with the who, but what he's saying, where she's going to go, well, I would suggest then that I be the one to take the helm, as considering I am already undead, whatever unfortunate magical side effects would come with such a thing would, well, not necessarily be of less risk to me, but I have less to lose. So
That's a good point.
I was really hoping
Alright.
you'd be like, no, I should do it, but okay.
I mean, you're undead. If we needed to crash into a reef, you're the only one who'd be surviving the drowning portion. So, yeah, good plan.
Ace, since you're standing the closest to Davy Jones, you're the only one who's going to hear him mutter under his breath, "Spoil sport," and then he's going to finish up by saying, "So they are undead. They have all of the vulnerabilities to anything that is undead would have, but I strongly suggest engaging in any more combat than you have to because you'll be greatly outnumbered." Well,
Who's
I wish
their
you all the
captain?
best of luck. And with that, he's going to turn around, step off the ship, just step onto the rail, step over, and he's gone.
Well, okay then. Yeah, so ignore the fact that he threatened to kill all of us. That's just kind of a thing he does, unfortunately. Davy Jones is a difficult man to please. And he still start walking back out to the helm.
Did Marina hear that? Of who it was?
Almost certainly.
I don't care who it was. Please get back here so I can get away from this and help Locke.
Just head up to the helm, kind of grab out from here, go, alright. So, I'm planning on turning this entire boat around and then basically forcing them into a game of chicken, of which we're going to lose by moving next their side, and then we're just going to steal their ship, technically speaking. Locke, you're very good at explosives. What's the best way to do this without our ship being bombed?
Can I push him off the ship? Marina doesn't like this idea.
Okay, so you're a good dozen feet from any rail. That being said, if you want to try to push him off the ship anyway, I'm fine with it. Go ahead and make a contested strength check.
A lovely shove.
Do-do-do. That's a flat 10. That is not a flat 10.
She has a -1 on her strength. I just want to make that clear. She got an 18, and that's a 17.
Okay, so Signa and Locke, what you now are watching is your Captain Ace was starting to articulate this very strategic plan for how he was going to turn the ship around and try to take the enemy vessel by surprise, ostensibly. But your crewmate Marina just like slammed her whole entire self into him and now has him up against the rail, so he's teetering on the edge and ready to go over. Also, nobody's steering the ship at this moment.
Well, okay, if you word it that way.
Also, as all of this is going on, another barrel of goblin fire hits the water, this time very uncomfortably close to your starboard side.
All right, so while Marina is trying to murder our captain with good reason, I am going to take the helm and start steering the ship towards the other one.
All right, so you're ready, you're
my
around.
gosh.
Yes.
Locke is going to notice
very good
that we're
reason
now
to
turning
kill
around.
him.
Locke's going to notice we're now turning around, and he's going to come running over. What the fuck is going on, guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
what the fuck is going on? You guys are suicidal.
Look, I am
Excuse
I
my
am a
language.
Look, I am an expert in highly dangerous magical things, and Ace's highly dangerous magical patron told us that the only way to kill that highly dangerous thing is to get aboard it. So we're going to do that
aboard
because
it and
otherwise
what?
I'm going to die. And don't worry, I'm the one most likely to die again. So there's no problem for you lot. Brother.
If we
Signa?
take over
Signa?
being the captain of that ship, they're not in very intelligent undead are going to be essentially recognizing us as captain and following what we have to do.
Locke,
However,
How do you do that?
Locke,
Okay.
what your character does with this information is entirely up to you, but I would like to point out that it's not going to be lost on your character that you've spent a significant amount of time researching Goblin Fire and want to learn to perfect the formula as one of your stated life goals. And B, the fact that they're this carelessly launching barrels of it means they must have a lot of it on board. As I say, do with this information what you will, but I would have been remiss not to point it out. Go on with what you were saying. I'm sorry to have interrupted.
Okay. How do you take control of the ship just by being captain? How do you get to be captain?
Look, you're on their side.
You take the steering wheel, which I have volunteered to do because
you just need to take the helm.
Yep, and given that I'm already kind of deadish, I'll probably be fine.
Signa, respectfully, I might bring you back to life just to kill you again.
No.
This is suicidal. What use is a undead crew?
Well, we're gonna ram that ship into the cliffs.
God, no, don't ram that ship. We'll burn
everything. My gosh. Marina still has ace pinned.
Well, you guys can get back on the boat, and I can just jump into the water because I don't breathe.
Get me within 90 feet of the helm. I can put you right next to it.
Okay.
No fight,
sure.
No swim, nothing.
All right. Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
You know, I could just simply call upon lightning and destroy the ship.
Considering they're all undead, I feel like that won't work.
Yeah, the ship is...
Shut up.
Signa, you have the helm. Get us within 90 feet of their helm. I can put you next to it.
Completely ignoring Marina, I am going to continue to turn the ship around.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna try and run interference on the barrels of goblin fire being shot at us by continuing to shoot them in the air when they get to be about, at this point, when they get to be around about, just within range. So anywhere, literally as soon as it's launched, I'm gonna try and hit it at about the 250 mark or something like that.
Okay, so you're able to load your crossbow faster than the crew are able to reload their catapult. It's a little bit of a process, and it takes multiple people to do it. Which brings up the question: do you want to attempt to take a shot at the catapult or its crew at any time?
I can do that without blowing up the ship or setting anything on fire.
As much as Locke can do anything without blowing something up or setting it on fire, yes.
Oh no, I can. I have an explosive that does thunder damage. So there's no fire involved. It's just basically concussive.
Okay. If you want to take that shot, you're welcome to. If you don't want to do that, you're also welcome to not.
I'm going to. So from where I'm sitting, I want to hit the. I want to hit the catapult.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna load. I'm gonna prime the explosive with 3 reagent dice. 3 of my reagents, load it up, and I'm going to take a shot at the catapult.
Okay. Roll it up.
All right. Here we go. $22.
Yeah, that definitely hits, and because that hits, I'm going to say that you managed to hit at one of the crucial mechanical elements of it. How much damage does it do?
So, does this count as a structure?
I would say so.
Okay, so it's going to do 2d6 and 3d10, and then all of that's going to be doubled.
Okay, go ahead and roll it up.
Hit him like a freight train.
Damn Skippy. All right, here we go. You know what? I'm gonna trust in these. This is what I'm gonna do. So we got and then here we go with the d10s. Team and so 21, and then all of that doubled is 42 thunder damage in a 15-foot radius.
All right, so the catapult is now inoperable. It's just severely damaged, and a couple of the crew who were operating it are down. I need to ask, is Marina still grappling Ace, trying to throw him over the side of the ship?
She'll glare at Ace and run over to Locke to try to assist.
Okay. All right, so there's understandably some confusion at the front of the enemy ship as one, their prey has turned around on them, and two, their catapult has been disabled. And you can hear shouts that sound like orders. They're being shouted in more than one language, so you can't understand everything that's being said. It's not entirely clear if the crew understand each other because they're talking to each other in different languages. But what you are able to gather pretty quickly is there's some confusion happening. So the question is, Locke just went. We'd specified what Signa was doing. Ace, what are you doing at this point?
He'd probably be looking over Signa and Locke. And he'd probably be walking over to Signa and probably saying to her, go next to Locke, I'll take hold of the ship.
All right. Yeah,
And he's
all
don't
good.
grab the helm.
Yeah, I'll go do that then.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's time for some fast and heavy movements, boys and girls. That's pretty much what he's gonna be doing.
Okay, so since you're now maneuvering your boat, go ahead and give us I don't really know what watercraft handling checks are, so we're going to go ahead and call this dexterity check.
Okay, it's a check or a save?
I'll call it a check.
Okay. That's going to be a natural 1. Total 5.
Okay, so
does that mean we have to dex save again?
yes, it does.
Marina's gonna flip around so fast and curse you out. I hope you know that. Because she did so much better.
I just grab the wheel and just spin it as hard as I can to the side.
Yeah, that's an unnatural 22 for Marina. She's flipping around.
So I have a request for the DM. Would it be possible for me to use one of the samurai advantage dice to recollect my balance as an amazing warrior and perhaps give myself advantage on this particular check?
Possibly. What did you roll?
2.
So Can I counter offer that? I got a 19 on my save. Can I try to steady Signa and give advantage so she doesn't have to use up a resource?
So I'm going to say your efforts have the effect that Signa still falls prone, but nothing dramatic happens, like you don't go flying off the ship or anything like that. But since you did have such a low roll, Signa, here's the penalty that happens. You have the bright idea to direct Locke, or to direct Ace in his steering of the ship. So if you've ever seen that SpongeBob episode where he's directing Davy Jones or Patrick or whoever it is who's parking the Flying Dutchman, and he's going, you're good, while the ship is scraping against stuff. It's kind of a scene like that. Is that?
So I guess we're right up against it now?
Yeah, you're right up against it. You're basically, your hulls are actively scraping against each other at this point.
All right. This is going to be interesting. So I'm gonna put a hand on Signa's shoulder, and I'm going to twin spell Vortex Warp, and there's just going to be this, and we're both going to disappear and reappear right next to the helm.
Okay.
And
Signa, you are right next to the helm. There is a sailor who, the way these sailors look is that parts of them are completely normal and healthy, although some of their clothing and hairstyle and so forth is a bit anachronistic. But there's also patches of them that are essentially decaying away. So there's very little mistaking their state of not only being undead, but having been so for some time. The sailor who is currently at the helm is going to look at you and Locke having appeared right next to him, call for help and draw his weapon, but I'm going to say you have time to take an action before he can do anything beyond that. With that in mind, what is that action?
Stab.
Fair enough. Go ahead and roll it up.
And I am going to use a samurai advantage dice for this. Alright, that's going to be a 19.
19 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage, and don't forget your... Yeah, you have an ally within 5 feet of you, so this would be... And you had advantage, so this would be sneak attack.
All right, that is going to be 24 stabbing damage.
All right, 24 piercing damage.
And I believe I have extra attack.
Yes, at this level you do.
So I'm going to stab them again.
Okay.
That is going to be 21.
21 to hit definitely hits.
All right. And that's going to be 20 stabbing damage.
Okay. So, yeah, this guy staggers backward. Another sailor now steps up and takes the helm, and a couple of others in your immediate vicinity are turning toward you. So that's Locke and Signa both had turns, one right after the other. We're going to say next we'll have it be Marina. You're up.
I don't think Marina's there. Can she see them though?
She can see a general sort of commotion beyond. So the deck of the other ship is a little higher than yours. So you're not quite on their same level. You can see kind of at about the level of the enemy sailor's knees, and you can tell there's a commotion beyond it, but you can't see in detail what's happening.
I highly doubt we're within 60 feet of them, are we?
Yes.
Okay, never mind that then. Marina will, I guess, hold her action
Okay.
because there
What?
isn't much she can do since we're far away and she doesn't want to injure them.
All right. So to hold an action, we need two things. We need one, what's that action going to be? And two, what's the condition that sets it off?
Marina is going to, if she sees like clearly they're in trouble. Actually, she's going to turn into a bird and watch from above to see how things are going.
Okay. So you're able to fly overhead. I'm not going to have you do any perception check or anything like that because you can clearly see it. There's nothing stopping you. And is that going to be the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Ace, you are a little further back because you're closer to the helm of your boat, but not by a whole lot. In some ways, you have a slightly better view of what's happening on the enemy deck because just the angle is such that you're not looking quite up so sharply. With all of that in mind, what do you want to be doing?
I think Ace is going to try moving the boat a little bit and then trying to essentially ram it to the side into their boat to try shuffling their boat. It seems like a lot of them are starting to focus on their crew. So he's going to try to essentially shake the boat and try to knock a lot of the undead off balance, as they are not particularly intelligent, so they probably won't have the sense of mind to think about steadying themselves.
All right. So go ahead and give us another dexterity check.
Will do. That would be a 14.
All right, 14. So you definitely succeed. A couple of the sailors on the other ship actually fall overboard.
Mhm.
You hear the unmistakable sounds of cracking and breaking timbers. It's hard to tell if it's your boat or theirs, but one ship or the other is almost certainly taking on water at this point.
Okay. Probably start trying to wedge the ship a little bit away from their ship in that case as well.
Okay, so basically you do your improvised ramming maneuver, and now you're trying to disengage from that, which I'm without any further checks, I'm able to say you're able to at least start that process.
Okay.
Okay. Lock. One of the sailors is going to draw a dagger and attempt to stab you. Guessing 12 does not hit your AC.
It does not.
Okay. Good for you. Marina, one of them is going to try to grapple you. So make a contested strength check. I'm not sorry, not Marina, Signa. My apologies.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. Contested strength check. Okay. 16.
You shrug this person off with absolutely no effort. And as predicted, part of the reason why both of their attacks were so inept was because Ace's maneuver does seem to have worked. They're not as steady as the two of you are and don't recover quite as well. So Locke, we're back to your turn.
So there's one guy at the helm right now, right?
There's one guy at the helm. There's one guy who Signa has already attacked, who she did a horrible amount of damage to. And then there are the two that have tried unsuccessfully to engage with you. There are a lot more of them around, but they haven't taken any action toward you yet.
All right, I've got an idea. I don't know if it's going to work. if I use Thunder Wave, it's a 15-foot cube. Can I set it in a spot where the two that are in front of me? Yeah, I should be able to set that in a spot where the two in front of me take a hit without hitting Signa or the actual it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because it's a secured object. So yeah, I should be able to do that, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So that is that's a con save. 16.
All right, so they both fail. The one that Signa had already hurt is his unlife has come to an end. The other one is sent flying away from you, knocked back 10 feet away, so he is knocked off of the helm.
Yep, and he takes. He takes 18 thunder damage from that shot. The important thing is that the helm is now cleared, and I'm going to have Load do what's probably the most dangerous thing I can have him do right now. Load is still in flamethrower mode.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And these creatures and he's going to take and attack the other two that were nearby. Not the ones that I just got rid of, but you said there were two others?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a dex save of 16.
One succeeds and one fails.
All right. The success takes half of 7. The failure takes a full 7 fire damage, and the space that they're standing in is, if it's flammable, it's on fire.
Okay, so their clothing is on fire, and the deck
And
itself.
that's when I turn to Signa, and I tell Signa to get a hold of the helm.
Okay, and I guess that'll bring us to Signa's turn. What is Signa doing?
Signa is, in fact, grabbing hold of the helm.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
I need new dice.
New dice.
And also
That's
a
not
higher
a good
wisdom
sign.
modifier. So how does 7 do it?
That was with advantage?
That was with advantage.
Oh.
All right.
Let go of it and try again.
I don't think that's how this works. Just a wild guess.
Bite the ship.
So you are now the captain of the Shadow, and you are now fully committed to the ship's mission, which the exact purpose of why isn't exactly clear, but your purpose, your goal is to avenge the sailors who fell in the time of the collapse, and to take your vengeance upon all those who still sail on these waters. Which means you have no particular reason to call your crew off of call your crew off of lock or off of the other two engaged.
Signa,
Like it, man
Signa,
style
call him
anyway.
off.
So I've taken my own ship to be captain of.
Hey, it is your turn, and what's Ace's passive perception?
13.
Marina's is 20, just putting it out there.
We'll get there. Ace on a 13 you just have a bad feeling. You're having one of those. You don't know what's wrong, but you're having one of those Star Wars "I have a bad feeling about this" moments.
Well, he just had Cigna try to take helm of a ship of undead, so he's just going to assume that his bad feeling is that Cigna started to have her gods take over the ship, and he doesn't like that, so he's going to look up at where Marina is, and he's just going to call out, "Take the helm!" Because he's that much of an asshole. And he's going and he's going to thunderstep directly onto Cigna.
I'm going to scream.
All right, so you're okay. So basically, you're so I just want to clarify what's happening here. Ace is using something like Misty Step, or is Thunderstep a different spell?
Yeah, so Thunderstep, I believe you can go up to looks like 90 feet away from you. And it pretty much just creates a massive boom of thunder up to 300 some feet away.
Okay, give me one.
Normally it would deal damage, but there's nothing to deal damage to, so.
Well, I mean,
Shut up.
there
Shut
is.
up.
Hurts my ship a little bit with sound. But yeah, so I'm essentially doing a 3 times the distance of Misty Step, kind of booming my own ship.
Okay. So are you trying to just body block Cigna off of the helm, and take the helm yourself?
Pretty much, yeah. Just kind of slamming into them.
So this is going to be a contested strength check. I'm going to say Ace is going to have advantage just because Cigna couldn't have seen this coming.
Can Marina do a quick bardic inspiration?
No.
Fair enough.
That is going to be a natural 20.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a 23 down.
Ace, what is your natural 20 add up to when you add your modifiers to it?
A base 20? I have no modifier.
I love that so much.
Cigna, was this a natural 20 that adds up to a 23, or is it 23 with modifiers?
It was a natural 20 that adds up to 23.
Oh my god.
Yeah, now you get the natural.
Well,
My luck is all over the place today, man. I don't know.
All right, so here's what happens. Locke, you do manage to appear, or I'm sorry, Ace, you do manage to appear there. You slam into Cigna, and Cigna doesn't budge. So basically, you're both now in a situation kind of like you were with Marina not long ago. Grappling just isn't Ace's venue. It's not his forte. So basically, you're kind of tangled up with Cigna on the helm. And Marina is going to be in the best position to notice this. With 2 people on the helm, the crew are profoundly confused. I mean, it's like a lot of them were advancing on Locke, and they just stop because they don't know who they're taking. You can reasonably surmise they don't know who to take orders from at this moment. And with that, it's Marina's turn.
I think our ship would be fine, right? I don't think we need someone to steer it. Right?
Oh boy.
Maybe. Oh wait, no, we're touching the other ship, so I can do long range stuff. Hold on. Wait a second.
Well, you're in the air right now. You turned into a bird.
Oh, this is true. So yeah, Marina would immediately go to the helm of our ship because she saw Ace do a dumb. So
That's not dumb.
you did a dumb. Anyway, so she is going to. Oh, I think causing pain would be best to get them off of that. Right. I think that works.
Power word pain.
Do. Sorry, hold on.
You get this.
While
good,
that's
Marina?
going on, just Locke, what you're seeing in this is as Ace has suddenly appeared with just a WWE style slam on Cigna right in front of you. And you watch this happen and Cigna be apparently unfazed by it. Also, as stipulated, you were in the awkward position of your crewmate had taken the helm, but you visibly saw a change come over their facial expression, their manner. It turned into essentially 1,000-yard stare, no longer the sentient, at least acquaintance, maybe friend of yours. But when Ace appeared and attempted to tackle, the multiple people who were advancing on you stopped doing so. So you're in this eerie moment of everything's about to happen, but nothing's currently happening. With that, Marina, are you ready to go?
Yep, Marina's ready. She's going to vicious mockery Cigna.
Cigna, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy, I have a great repertoire with those.
But what
I'm surprised you didn't vicious mockery me.
17.
Oh, that passes.
Okay.
Okay.
Dead
What
man's grip on
seething
that helm.
remark do you use?
She says some unkind words in oh my gosh, where is it? In Primordial.
All right. So she says your mother is so foul she made the eye of Sauron blink or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Locke, it's now your turn.
Yep, it is my turn.
That's fun.
So I see that everything on the ship it's almost in this weird stasis, right?
Yeah, there's this moment of indecision. The crew are still animate, I guess would be the word, but they're not doing anything because they essentially have no one to get orders from.
Okay. This is gonna be a couple of things. It's gonna be crazy and it's gonna be potentially painful, but I don't think it's going to be enough damage to kill either one of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna tell Ace, just get a good firm grip of her. And hang
Just
on.
to like raise his eyebrow for a second, look back at Cigna and just go, damn it, my feeling was bad. Try just real tight grip.
And that's when I'm gonna bring the prosthetic up. It's gonna charge up another thunder wave. And make a con save.
Okay. So a quick note on this. Ace, if you want the momentum of your body to help pull Cigna away from the helm, you can choose to fail this con save.
Okay. Yeah,
Or
we'll
you
go ahead
can
and do
try to
that.
make it. It's up to you.
Well, we'll go ahead and fail it.
Okay. Cigna, make a con save with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay. So that's going to be 13 plus 4. So that's going to be 17.
That was with disadvantage?
Yep.
Okay.
What?
What the fuck is with your luck today?
Apparently, Cigna's natural calling is lawful evil.
What happens? So what
Oh
happened?
my gosh, I'm going to lightning strike you.
At this point, I condone it because if it hits, it'll actually save my character.
Okay, so Locke, what's the damage from that?
It's 10 thunder damage,
Mm-hmm.
and Ace gets shoved 10 feet
Okay.
through
So,
Signa.
all right, so Ace, you get shoved 10 feet, and you get blown completely. You lose your grip on. Actually, make a strength check.
Will do. Strength save or?
Yeah, strength saving throw. Thank you.
I was really hoping that was going to work.
That is a 19.
All right, so you get knocked completely off your feet, but you don't lose your death grip on Signa. Though you do take the full 10 damage. Signa, you take 5. And it is now Signa's turn.
Can I?
Has Signa let go of the helm?
You don't know, Signa. Your feeling, your confidence is that you are now the captain of this ship. You are the master of the ship and its crew, and that's not going to change unless someone else actively takes the helm.
Okay. So I mean, what can I do? Like, am I in control again, or what's going on?
No, you are part of the ship now,
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
basically.
Good times. Okay. Can I try to break free of this will, or is it just someone else has to wake me up fully?
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. I'm going to say the efforts of your companions to break you free are enough to rattle some amount of sense into you. So go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Okay. It's gonna be a 5.
Oh my gosh, you better throw away those dice.
It's a different.
You
color.
they really are just the evil dice, apparently.
This is like a different set too. That's the worst thing.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check, please.
Da, 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 da. That's gonna be 22.
All right.
Damn it.
With that, you not only are you able to get Locke or Ace off of you, you basically one hand still on the tiller, the other hand you just grab Ace by the throat and just like full on choke slam.
Jesus.
Goodness.
Ow.
Okay.
Okay then.
Locke, does 13 hit your AC?
No.
Okay. One of the crew members advanced on you and attempted to stab you, but you managed to see it coming and miss. Ace, same question. Does 13 hit your AC?
Nope.
So as you're lying there on the ground, just in your peripheral vision, you see a crewman with a dagger step up to you and just drives it down right at your head, and you're able to roll out of the way just in time.
Mhm.
And with that, it's Ace's turn.
Cool. I'll assume that I'm like right next to the wheel, the helm.
You are.
Okay. He's just gonna just dead straight just reach out and try grabbing it, and he's going to at the same time summon his hexblade sword. And essentially, he's gonna try grabbing the wheel first, and then try stabbing Signa if he can.
Okay. Go ahead and are you using half your movement to get up?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say grabbing the wheel is going to be, we'll count that as your bonus or as your free action. Summoning the sword, I believe, is a bonus. And then you can make one attack as an action. All right. So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okie dokie. That is going to be a lovely 11 to hit.
Signo, what's your AC?
Better than 11. I believe it's 14. Yeah, it's 14.
God.
Okay.
So if you've somehow managed to miss this person who's directly in front of you,
Who
Swing,
cannot
swing,
move.
swing.
I mean, it's sort of impressive in its own way. I
The
believe
boat
that
is
brings-
rocking a lot.
I believe that brings us to Marina's turn.
Yeah, Marina is. How close am I to them? Real quick.
Didn't you say you had gone to your boat's tiller and taken the helm of it?
Yes.
So you're about at least 60 feet away.
So Marina's going to move for a good moment. She's gonna move probably 10 feet closer
Okay.
and create a ice knife. And she's going to snipe it to Signa. Snipe it at Signa.
You can do that, but there are people between you, so it's going to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll it up if you want to.
Ooh.
Ah, that's a 10. Yeah, I
Ice
didn't
knife.
count that there would be people in between.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, the ice knife explodes against the tiller, not hitting Signa. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn, Marina?
I don't have anything else. She's
could.
gonna bardic.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
She's going to bardic inspiration. Locke is like, you need to get Signa out of there. Don't make me come over there, okay?
Okay, Mom.
Such
You know what?
inspiration.
Locke, with that bit of
Do
inspiration,
better.
Locke, you're up.
Theoretically, what happens if I get rid of the helm itself?
Oh my god.
Desperate time.
Theoretically, the helm is a powerful magical artifact that controls a lot of undead that you're surrounded by, and you have no idea.
How to casually tell a player that that's actually a really bad idea.
So I'm going to elaborate on that. There are a couple of possibilities. One is that they could just become themselves again. Two is they could all drop dead. Three is that they could become mindless undead, which might not be the worst thing because you outrank mindless undead by a lot at this point. So you don't really have, I mean, you're just not really sure exactly what happens, nor do you truly know what it means for the ship itself.
All right. I'm watching these two fight over the helm, and I'm watching Signa somehow show a greater amount of strength than she has ever shown. And it seems to me that there's one good way to make sure that this stops being a problem pretty quick.
I feel like this is gonna hurt.
I'm gonna need a minute here.
I got blown up by Ace or Locke again.
Well,
Yes.
here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna yell to Ace. Ace, I need you to give me a lot of space right now, and you're gonna see me pulling out a bundle of about 4 explosives.
Oh, Lord.
And
Oh,
into one
Lordy.
of those explosives, I'm dumping 3 reagents.
Ooh boy.
You get out of the
Let's
way
see.
because I can only save one. I can only save one of you from the explosion.
I'm going to grab Signa's arm and pretty much look into Signa's eyes, just be like, teleport with me if you want to live. And attempt to use Thunder Step about 60 feet away.
Okay, so you're attempting to teleport Signa essentially against her will?
Yeah, so I can only do it on a willing creature, so if they end up not being willing, then they don't teleport with me. So it's up to Signa whether or not she would become willing.
So what I'm going to say is that, Signa, you're going to make a wisdom saving throw against this.
Oh boy. Wait, wisdom saving throw against the boat or against them? Or...
Against Ace's spell save DC.
Okay.
B16.
This is the only time I've ever been happy to roll a 2.
All right.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, especially with it being beaten by that much. Ace, you're able to teleport her away.
Mhm.
Now, Locke, you can go forward with your plan as it was before. However, it's not lost on you that there's nobody on the helm at this moment. So you can try to blow up the helm, or you can grab the helm.
I would be very much at the mercy of my dice with a wisdom save, so I'm going to blow up the helm.
Okay.
All right, fair.
Go ahead, and it's a helm, so it can't get out of the way. It doesn't have AC per se, so go ahead and just roll up the damage, and we'll find out what happens.
And one last dice got to be thrown. Let's see. 9, 18, 27, 30, 40, 5, 50,
Oh my god.
8, 65 times 2, so the helm takes 130 fire damage.
Holy shit.
I think the front of the ship's gone. Well, back of the ship.
Negated sexual tension between Locke's dice roll and the many gut barrels of goblin fire that I stuck the fighter in the hole. All right, so the helm is just obliterated, as are several of the crewmen who were nearby. And so it's the kind of thing where it doesn't even really catch anything on fire because the draft of the explosion is so fierce. And in the aftermath, with your ears ringing from the force of what you just done, you look around and you see all of these dazed crewmen looking like they just woke up, and you get the sense that some kind of control of them has been broken. You're not entirely clear what their mood is going to be, and you have a moment to react. And I'm going to say we're out of combat right now. So, Locke, what do you do right now?
Does it look like they're just gonna go back to being normal undead, attacking whatever's in front of them? Is that like the sense that I'm getting from them?
No, there seems to be a little bit more intelligence in their eyes than that.
Well, but there's a lot of them, aren't there?
There is, and as you're looking around at this crew, what you're able to determine is that they're a bunch of different races, different styles of dress, and their styles of dress come from different time periods. Some of them, their clothes are so old that they're essentially rotting off of them, whereas some of them look like they're fairly current clothing and styles.
I'm gonna try, and I'm going to make the speech of my life, I guess.
What are you saying to them?
What do I say? What was the name of this ship again? The Shadow?
Yeah.
Crew members of the Shadow, for too long you have toiled under the forced leadership of some misbegotten god. Kept too long alive after you were supposed to go to your rest. Much earned. Go now. Take your rest. Leave the ship.
So they all focus on you as you're speaking, and there's a long moment of hesitation. And finally, the nearest one to you, who's actually a fellow goblin, but dressed much more in the Outlander Raider style that you would associate with a goblin being dressed, turns and walks to the rail and just climbs over. Doesn't really jump into the water as much as he just steps, and there's nothing to step on, so he just plunges into the water. And the rest of the crew slowly in single file begin to follow him. And what the other three of you are seeing is these people stepping off the ship and falling into the water, although suspiciously quietly, not making a whole lot of splash. Except for Ace, what you're seeing is Davy Jones on a ferry boat and just taking all of these people on board and getting ready to take them to wherever they go.
Ace will nod his head to David Jones.
Davy Jones is going to acknowledge you and say, not what I had in mind, but very well done. Thank you, all of you. And you all four of you, you're not going to know why this happens, but you are going to get a blessing from Ace's patron, which essentially counts as an inspiration point to be used at your discretion.
Sweet.
In the aftermath of this, you do find that there's some significant damage to your ship, so you will have to put into port to take care of it before you can continue on your journey. But that doesn't stop Locke from being able to get a hold of a whole lot of goblin fire, as well as raw components to make more. And that seems like a pretty good place to leave it for tonight.
Yeah.
Signo just waking up in the background. Did we do it? Did we do it?
Just the fucking head of the
Marina
ship
is
being
ready to
nuked.
hit Ace.
I didn't blow up the damn thing.
You're the one that dragged us into this.
It's fine. We're being attacked. It's fine.
Still gonna hit you.
All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed
Anyway.
this episode. If you guys did, feel free to hit that follow button. We're probably going to go live tomorrow. Rogue is going to be streaming some more Noblelight, I believe it's called. Really neat game. And then Friday we should be doing some Baldur's Gate. Soon my internet comes back to normal. If you guys want to see all the up-to-date information about the stuff we're going to be doing, including the fact that December is probably going to be a very empty month And January probably will follow the same trend depending on a few factors. Feel free to join our Discord or check out our various other social media, including Vods of Valhalla and Tables of Tartarus, our 2 VODs channels respectively. And we'll see all of you fine folks next week at 5 p.m. PST